Hey everyone, it's your girl Lauren Reed right here on What a Ice Radio. In 2019, we are here.
We're here. We're still here.
We made it.
It's been a long time.
We made it. It's been a long time. We had a little vacation.
Yeah. Back to the grind.
Back to the grind. You know, it does not stop around here. Everybody,
Never.
I got my boy Jay the Gentleman in the building.
I hope everybody's having a great 2019 so far. We got a lot of things coming up for you guys.
We do.
Very excited.
Yay. Our lineup of guests this year.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm all smiling because I'm all excited.
Well, speaking of exciting guests.
We have one in the building. We start off strong.
Always.
With a boom.
Always. When we come back from a break, it's always good.
Yeah, I make sure that we, start off hard because we don't want people to be like, oh, y'all
fell off, y'all
took
slept.
a vacation. Nah, we don't do that around here.
Nah.
So everybody, without further ado, let me introduce our guest to you. This gentleman is all over the place. I just recently saw him on the Rachel Ray Show.
Dang.
Right? Fox 29.
Yeah.
The Q Show.
Word. Shout out to Q.
Articles everywhere. ABC.
Wow.
NBC. He is just doing it crazy.
And now he's here.
And he's here.
Oh.
I was like, I'm going to shoot my shot.
Hey, why
See if he
not?
gonna come
Hey, you
through.
guys keep that same form. You can't change up the form.
Can't,
Yeah,
right?
stay in the gym.
So, everybody, we have p.michael Boom here in the building. He is here from the Junior Barber Academy.
So dope.
p.michael Boom Foundation. I mean, he is just doing so many great things. So, everybody, please put your hands together for Mr. p.michael, everybody. How are you?
What's up? I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed this 2019.
You really are. I have to say, I've been kind of following your journey now for a while. Awesome. The first time I was introduced to you was actually through a friend of the show, Nehemiah Davis from the Circle of Greatness.
Yep.
Always
shout out to him for sure.
Yes.
And he put up a post about you, about your Junior Barber Academy. So before we get into that, because that's just a whole entity in itself.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about you. You're born and raised in Philly.
Yes.
Right?
North,
What part?
North Philly.
North
Oh,
Philly.
North Philly in the building.
Is it north or is it north?
It's North.
With the F. With the F.
The F. Yes,
Emphasize the F.
That's right.
For sure. So let's talk a little bit about how you became a barber. That's a very unique story.
Yes. Grew up in North Philadelphia. Man, being a barber. So the journey began. So my mom just didn't have as much as she should have probably had at that time.
Okay.
So, she was focused on paying the bills, making sure we had food on the table. And haircut just wasn't one of those things that just happened often.
Wasn't really a necessity.
Yeah, it wasn't a necessity in my household. So it was like once a month, once every 2 months, and my hair grow fast.
Okay.
So I decided to take matters in my own hands, and I remember going to a friend of mine's house, and his dad had some clippers. And I remember just kind of remembering what the barber did to my hair, and just cut my hair down, and came home that night, and she like, boy, who you selling drugs for? She's like, I ain't give you no money to get no haircut. How you get a haircut? I'm like, Mom, I did it myself.
So you did a good job.
Well, I was going to say, the first time you did it was nice?
Yeah, I must have did an okay job, but I had hair all on my shirt.
Yeah,
It was obvious I did it, right? But
yeah.
she wasn't believing me.
Wow.
She just didn't want me to be out there hustling.
Sure.
And you were 12, right?
I was 12 years old at the time this happened. So so for Christmas that year, she bought me some clippers. And she was
Wow.
like, do it in front of me. Let me see it. Because I would keep going over my homie house and using his dad clippers,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So when she did that, it was on since then. And I remember just like having everybody walk up to me, like my friends, just, hey, why don't you hook me up too?
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the start. Like I didn't even think that was going to happen. Like it was more so just for me. You know what I mean?
Now, were you doing it for profit from the beginning with
No.
your friend? You just help hooking up your
Just
friends.
hooking them up.
Your mom
man,
was your
for
first
free.
investor.
Yeah, she was my investor, right?
Yeah.
That's
She got
what's
your
up.
first
Yeah, shout out to
clippers.
mom.
Yeah,
man. She in
word.
heaven right now.
So at what point do you were like, I got something going on here?
It had to be forced out of me. So I remember I was cutting a couple of my friends, and their moms was coming through the house and just was like, Dad, you cut my son hair. And I remember this one lady knocked on my door. She was just like, you cut my son hair. And I'm thinking I did something
Yeah,
wrong.
like, yes.
And she just put some money in my hands.
Word.
And it was like $2, but
Yeah.
it was letting me know like, dang, I could really get paid for this.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was awesome. That was the start.
That was the start. That's a great start. 12 years old. You were
Yeah,
already
12,
being
right? Yeah.
a businessman right there.
Taking matters in your own hands.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's up.
So let's fast forward. You have a barbershop,
Yes.
correct? Hope
Yep.
Barbershop, right?
Halt Barber.
Barbershop,
Okay.
Yes.
Which means high, correct?
Mess means high in French.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Oui,
when
oui.
oui, oui. So when I was doing my research, something that stuck out to me about your shop actually is that it's like an experience,
Yes.
really, for gentlemen coming in to get their haircuts.
Absolutely.
Why did you want to have something like that? That high standard experience to get your hair cut?
So in the beginning, I was cutting hair in just like neighborhood barbershops, right? And so it was just a regular neighborhood feel, arguing about basketball, arguing about politics,
Right.
All that.
And the people would
The
come
best
through.
talks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And people would come through, and then I started getting a clientele base to the NBA. So I started having a lot of Sixers players come in the barbershop,
Wow.
right? And so it was cool. People come in and
Yeah.
talk about sports. I barely watch sports, but I had the clients come in and talk about sports. But it wasn't a comfortable environment for them. And as their level started rising,
Sure.
I'm sitting back like, well, dag, I wish I had that space that they can be
Right.
comfortable in. You know what I mean? Because a couple of the players even got told by the coaches like, dag, don't go through North Philly and get no haircut.
Right.
It's a restriction. Yo, you can't go to North Philly and get
For
a haircut.
sure.
We heard about it.
Stay around this
Yeah,
area.
they did documentaries inside the
Yeah.
barbershop. Yeah, they would come in and do documentaries and everything in the barbershop.
Wow.
And so once I branched off from just like working in the neighborhood barbershop, I wanted to open up my own. And so I bought a building, bought the land.
Okay.
So I own the land, and I put apartments upstairs,
Yeah.
and I
Listen.
built a private grooming salon that these particular people that want that privacy can come to. And so now I
Okay.
don't just do hair; I focus on skincare and
Word.
hair care and beard care as well.
I mean, that's where it's at. I was just
There you
gonna
go.
say, like, I think it's definitely evolved since I remember going to the barbershop, and you got your cut, and that was kind of what it is. But
Right.
now it's like there's different techniques,
Yes.
and people using flamethrowers and like burning the blades to make
Flamethrowers, yeah.
like like the burner
Yeah,
guns.
yeah, yeah.
They sharpen up the blade to get that even closer. They have the
Yeah, yeah.
mask. It's like
Yeah.
a whole I would say like the last like 10 years, it definitely evolved to a whole.
It did evolve.
Like whole new concept, and I feel like as a man now going to the barbershop, it is like an experience.
It's
Yeah.
an experience.
Like
Yeah.
it's like one of those when ladies go
What
to
women got, right? Well, we
it's
got
like
it for us.
we want our we
want ours.
want a massage in our head too. Like
That's right.
That's dope. That's dope. So like I guess with my question would be, I see that you have the beer game strong.
Thank you.
I feel like Philly definitely was in the forefront with that.
Yes, we was.
You know what I'm saying?
They emulate us way before.
Yes.
Way before it got really hip.
Yep.
How do you feel about this whole renaissance with not only beards but just skincare and just kind of men taking care of themselves?
Oh man, I love it. Once I started paying attention, I think social media made the world like this
Sure.
much smaller, right?
Sure.
So we was able to like peek in everybody's room and everybody's barbershop.
Like, what you doing over there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think like I remember years ago going down south to Atlanta to the hair shows, and the dye was just coming out, right? And Philly, we had the dye game on Smash. I remember going down to Atlanta and I had a guy offer to pay me like $5,000 to teach him how to dye hair.
Wow.
He was like,
Really?
because he was got to get in a competition to win 10.
Right.
So he was like, you
That's
teach me
an
how to do
investment.
that.
Yeah.
I can win this
Right.
because they don't know about
No.
that down
Wow.
here. And because of social media, it made the world small. And once we started seeing what they was doing in Europe, once we started seeing what they was doing in other countries, like, wow, y'all focusing more on the luxury of the barbering industry instead of just cutting hair and getting them out of here.
Right. Just
And
getting
so
heads. Yeah.
I was able to get on social media, see it, get on the internet, and just see what other barbers was doing in other countries, other spots, right? And then I said, let me bring that here to Philly because I'm going to just offer it. I mean, my clients are like hardcore, right?
I was getting like for $15. Like,
Yeah,
you
and
want me
they
to pay
just
what?
and they don't even want nothing on
Right.
their face. They're like, I don't even want nothing.
Right.
So, but I started like inviting more clients to come that did want those things, and then I was like, now that's my. You know me for that. You know me for doing facials,
Absolutely.
beard care specials,
Yeah.
and focusing.
Especially if you see one person do it,
There
you're
you
like,
go.
all right, let me try,
Yup.
and then
Yup.
the wrap.
And,
So I
your,
love it.
and your products are natural, correct?
all
Not
natural. I make my own
product.
products.
Nice.
Wow.
I make my own products.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wonderful. So would you say, I mean, you get Philly top of the top for the barbers?
For sure. No question. I had a show. I did a reality show called Making the Barber.
Oh,
And I
wow.
did it down on 7th and Randstead at what's it called Philly Camp.
Philly Camp,
and
yeah.
yeah. So it was a judging show. I had 3 judges. I had competition barbers come out, do live haircuts. And I felt as though that was the purpose of that was I wanted people to know like Philly was at the forefront of barbering,
For a
right?
long
but
time.
what we didn't do is we never stamped our name on nothing. We just said like we just go around telling everybody else we did it, but we never actually called it the Philly curve or the Philly fade. Like we should have did that.
Like
it should
Uptown
have.
fade.
You should have been able to go somewhere in
right.
any city, in
Yeah.
any city in the United States and say, yo, give me the Philly fade.
Right.
Or give me the Philly beard.
Yeah.
Like they do say that sometimes, but we should have really owned that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Philly was.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want guys to get uncomfortable, but I'm going to have to ask this question.
All right.
So the internet has been going crazy about men getting these man weaves per se, right?
Yes.
And I don't personally think that men should be embarrassed by this situation. I mean, if your hairline is receding,
It's
a for real weave. It's like
Deion Sanders got his joint going back. Like,
are you an advocate for men who kind of want to keep it going and they go through this type of, I guess, phase, or is it like, yo, just let it go?
So, Lauren, let me tell you. So, listen.
Come on, it's a lucrative business.
Listen, it is definitely
fresh.
So
people are making a lot of money.
Man, we starting at $250 to $1,000
Yes.
a unit, right? But listen,
I blame that on social media really quick.
it is definitely social media.
Because they
the
be
devil
dogging people on their hairlines. Yeah. All
So
right,
if you
good.
get dogged, you want to
Yeah,
do
like-
something about it, right?
Yeah.
But everybody don't feel like they comfortable about getting the baldy. But I'm like this. I'm still with the traditional baldy. Just get the beard game right.
right.
That's why I make the
Okay.
beard
That's always gonna
products.
go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just
If
get
not
your beard
more, right?
Because I'm scared though. You know what I'm scared of, Lauren? I'm scared that glue, because it's glue. They
It's
gotta
glue.
put that
It's
on there.
hair glue.
I'm scared that's gonna do something to your scalp, and now when you can't get the
Right.
clean baldy,
Right.
Because now you got
It's gonna
some,
damage
now
your
you got
skin.
some pie patches on your skin.
Yeah.
So I'm scared of that. So I would never.
I'm about
do it.
to. It would have to be for me like another 5-10 years before the technology gets like better
Yeah,
for me to be like.
I got you. To even look at it,
Yeah,
peek at it,
like-
right?
Now,
Yeah.
I did
Still
see
fresh right
one
now.
special story. It was a barber in Philly, and he was actually profiled on social media, of course. It was a young boy. He was like 6 years old, and he suffered from alopecia.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting like teased at school, stuff like that. Parents brought him in. This particular barber specialized in these. They call them man weaves. And he just looked like a brand new kid.
Yeah.
Now, some people was like, well, what does that really tell him about his self-esteem or whatever? And I'm like, but he's 6.
Right,
You know what I'm trying
right.
to say? Like, he's not 40. You know what
Right.
I mean?
That's right.
Because some of these dudes be going extra with it. They be having a joint all the way back here and then be having a box. Like,
Yeah.
they doing too much.
Or Stevie with the braid,
or
with the
Brazilian-
locks.
right,
Like, come
or
on, man, let's let it go. Let it
Brazilian
go.
be on swim. And
Right.
it's like, your
Yeah.
hair is waving better
Like-
than mine right now. So it's like, you got to know when to
Yeah.
pause it.
Let it
But
go.
it is a very lucrative business. I just wanted to
Lucrative
ask
business.
you as a...
I'm not an advocate for it, but you know what? It was good for Hollywood. So Hollywood was able to produce the box. If you did like a 1980 special on your TV show, where you want to go and do a throwback,
Right.
I can give you a box.
Right.
If you never had one. So to me,
Right.
it's
That's a
great
good
for
point.
Hollywood.
It's great for
Yeah.
entertainment. Yeah,
but
you're right.
For
Not for
everyday
everyday.
person,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
get the baldy.
Yeah,
I
just
get
go
the baldy.
I
man.
got... All right.
Ladies like the baldy.
Listen,
Yeah, get the
I don't
baldy.
really necessarily want my man with a man weave.
Yeah, nah.
We both trying to
Going
figure
like
it
this
out.
at the same time. Both in bed like
We
that.
both itching. It's
Yeah,
not,
nah.
it's not a
That's
good
crazy.
look. I need you to be a man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just,
All
cut
right.
it, just cut it off.
crazy.
But service is one of your highlights at your shop.
Yes.
And I have to ask this question. Sometimes we get so kind of like, I want to say like we feeling ourselves as when we get higher in what we do in the game. Sometimes with our egos
Building
being
up
in the
your
way, building up your
clientele.
clientele. Like, how do you deal with the whole? I loved on your site that I said appointments are on time.
Yes.
Try not to be late.
Yes. On time is late in my
Business
book.
ethics is what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Yes, business ethics, and I mean, I just have to say it. That's a huge thing in the community of color people.
Yes.
I mean, black and brown people. We get kind of shamed for that, not having business ethics.
Starting,
right?
starting later.
Starting
or,
late.
yeah, coming in
My
late.
appointment was at 3.
Yep. I'm
You
here
showing
at
up at
5.
4:30,
Yeah.
or I'm still here at 8.
Right.
And I get it. I go to the shop. We like to sit, talk. You might order some food. The ladies is talking nonsense. It happens. But how did you go about that professionalism with like changing the culture, the mindset of that?
The mentality, yeah.
Even your clients being on time. How did you go about that?
That was a painful process. So
man.
coming from the hood barbershop,
Sure.
right? You just everybody walking in, you got 6 people sitting in the chair. You don't know who the barber is,
Right.
right? And so it was never professionalism, right? At all.
Yeah.
Never. This
Right.
is just the barbershop, man, and that's just how it is. But when I did start noticing is when I wanted to request more money. And I had to add more value to request more money. I can't ask
Time
for
is money.
you to change. I can't change the price of your haircut,
love it.
and you not giving, and I'm not doing nothing different.
Right.
So my thing was, what am I going to implement in my shop because to add the value of why I want more money. So one thing I wanted to do was honor you as the client. So I want to make sure that you're good.
Right.
So you got a professional job.
Yeah.
You have to be on time.
Right.
Time is your money. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if I value your time and I respect your time, then I ask you, I'm going to ask you for more money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I get
so
it.
listen,
And
the
I'm
haircut
okay with
going
that.
up,
I'm
yeah.
okay. We
But
started this,
I'm going to
I'm
honor
yeah.
your time. Your 4 is your 4.
I can't block out 4 hours. Like
Exactly.
2
Now
hours
you
most,
can.
you got me.
You
Like,
can, but you got to pay for it.
Right.
And so I do have that
Right.
fee where you paying for time. You're not
Do
paying
you
for the
pay
haircut.
for privacy? Do people pay for
Yes.
privacy?
So my shop is definitely a private shop. Nobody can just walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get buzzed in the door and everything. I got the
Nice.
camera system on you.
we need more people like you.
Yeah,
I
we
highly
do.
appreciate
That's
that
what's
because
up.
I'm very
Yeah,
much about the time
I
is
love
money.
that. I really do. Do you do special events like people have weddings? Do you do all the groomsmen and stuff like that?
Yes,
Nice.
I do that on a Sunday. I'll block out a Sunday. Usually weddings are on Sundays. Some of them, or Saturday. I'll just block out hours, and we'll do the whole groomsmen thing. We'll do the facials. We let them talk. I put on the basketball stuff, man. So all of sports is on, so everybody can kind of talk,
Relax a little bit.
Yeah, I got a little mini bar. I got a cologne bar in my barbershop. I got a,
Where has he been?
Nah, you're doing it big. That's how it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. It's supposed to feel like an experience. You want to, you know what I mean? If you're gonna ask for that money, I'm gonna pay for that. I'm gonna get what I get paid for. I'm
Pay
gonna
for
be okay with
convenience.
that. I'm okay with that.
I love it. So what we're going to do right now, everyone, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to transition into this Junior Barber Academy, which I think is absolutely amazing. I would love to get the story behind that. So everybody, don't go anywhere. It's your girl Lauren Reed right here with Jada Gentleman.
Yeah.
P. Michael's here. The whole What Eyes family is here. We will be right back. We are back, everybody. It's your girl Lauren Reed right here on What Eyes Radio. Jada Gentleman is in the building.
Yes,
with
yes,
me.
yes.
And we have P. Michael Boone in the building. He
Yep.
is talking about his amazing journey with becoming a barber. But now we're going to get into the good stuff, right?
Ooh. I'm talking about foundations.
Not yet.
Okay.
Because he got a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
But we're going to first get to the Junior Barber
Academy. Word up.
I love it. I love it. The Junior Barber Academy.
which is such an amazing idea.
Thank you.
How did that come about?
So just like earlier, I was sharing with you the story about me not getting a haircut, right?
Sure.
12 years old, had to take matters in my own hand, cut hair. I one day was just thinking, how many other kids are going through the same thing that I went through
A lot.
years ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you know what really struck it? I was cutting a bunch of kids who was going away to college, and all of them was like, "Oh, P, I'm not gonna see you for like 3 months, so I'm gonna be coming back woofing." And they did. They came back with big old afros.
They'll wait. Yeah.
And it started making them feel comfortable about growing their hair out. And I'm all about cutting hair. So I'm like, you grow your hair out, you ain't gonna need me no more. You know what I mean? So I need to cut you.
Yeah.
So I'm
Right.
like, you know what? How cool would it be if I showed you how to cut your own hair while
Right.
you at college? And I'm like, not just that you can cut your own hair. What if you got a roommate? What if you got some friends up there
Right.
you meet and you could do it with them?
Sure.
And then I thought about the kid like myself that was like, yo, what about me kids out here that if they cut their hair, they could take a bill off of their mom plate.
Correct.
Because that's a bill in the house. You know what I mean? Barbershop monthly bill.
Yeah.
If they can take that off their mom plate right there.
But what about the kid
they
who
do?
can just start their own business?
Yeah, and I mean that part came later when I
Okay.
thought about
Okay.
the entrepreneurial part for the
Yeah.
kid, but more so I was like, you know what about just being self-sufficient?
Right. I was just
Wow.
You know
gonna
what I
say,
mean?
yeah,
Doing
yeah,
something for self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First.
Right. The business comes later,
The
but the
business
self. Yeah,
part
you're right.
can come later. And
sure.
that's the
Right.
thing I thought about. Like, it can come later. So when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Who would be the best to do it than me? A
Sure.
person
Right.
who lived in these shoes.
Right.
I didn't go to college, so I don't know about that part, but I cut so many students that did.
Okay.
So let's start an academy for
Okay.
it. Let's create something. And I just did it on social media. So I went straight on social media and I said, hey guys, how cool would it be if I start a academy like Junior Barber Academy? I just made it up.
Everybody's
as
like,
I was
yeah.
talking. And I was getting the votes in on the social media,
Okay.
and they were saying this will be a dope idea.
Yeah.
I said, let's get it. I'm an action taker. So I'm all about execution, action. If I say I'm gonna do something, let's do it.
Right.
Right. So, how long ago did you start?
So I just started in July.
Wow.
This was
That's crazy.
That's what's up.
yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
And what's the age range of the kids that can come actually and learn?
So when I was in my head thinking these kids, I'm thinking college dudes. I'm thinking like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, right? When I opened it up, I did an orientation. I said, anybody can come. Just bring your kids down. Put a pair of clippers in their hand for the first time.
Sure.
Let them see if this is even something they even want to do.
Yeah.
So I had all these kids come. It was kids coming from age range of 5 years old on up to 19 years old, right? They come in, it's 60, 70 kids coming in. And I'm just like putting clippers in their hand for the first time, turning them on, showing them how to stroke, do C-strokes, showing them how to motor skills, seeing if their elbow can hold that weight, because clippers are weight. And I was just like, yo, 17-year-olds. And for some reason, this little girl came in, and she was 7. And her mom signed her up. And I'm like, this could be interesting. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was ready to learn.
She ready to learn.
The 17-year-old was like this, head down, hoodie on their head. I'm like, this ain't for
them.
you.
Yeah.
This for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This for the younger kids. So you know what? Willing and able is the age limit. Willing and able. If you come and you ready, let's get it. But I did kind of had to cap it off because people was bringing 4-year-olds in. And I was like, all right, let's stop, y'all. Right. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. 8 to 18. Let's get it. I just implied that this time, like a couple weeks ago.
And that young lady, you said she's 8 now, right?
She's 8 now, yeah.
And I saw the video of her doing. She was on point.
Yeah, she definitely eager. Like when a kid want to do something, like it's like a kid wanting to play basketball
or
kid,
pick up an instrument
anything,
or something.
Right, a kid want to do something, you're going to see them always like active about it.
Right. I saw that she said her goal was to cut LeBron James.
Yeah, that was,
I thought that was so dope.
Awesome. Yeah.
I thought that was really, really dope. So how long is the program?
So the program is 6 weeks. It only takes me 6 weeks. It's 2 hours every single weekend. We just I use a Saturday. So end of my day, I'm still in cutting mode. I'm like, let's get the class started at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. They come down into my barbershop, so I'm already there, already active. We got hair on the floor. We got everything. The environment
you're warmed up. You're ready to go. Yeah,
the environment is set. It's not a classroom setting. It's a barbershop setting. So these kids come in, and it's 2 hours.
I mean, this is a trade.
2 hours. This is 6 weeks. Yeah. But I realized that, you know what, a lot of kids might not go into barbering after taking this, but at least you have been introduced to it.
Sure.
It's like playing the flute. You might not play the flute for like an orchestra, but you did it.
Right.
And that's the cool part about it.
And sometimes when they try something new, it sparks other ideas for something else.
I love it.
And they might bring that on later on.
I love it, Jay. Yes.
Yeah.
So your models, are they worried when they're having this 7, 8?
They are, but now I've made them bring their own models. So you bring your own family member, and they family member like, don't touch my head. I'm like, yo, I got him.
Right.
Trust me, I'm gonna guide him through. But that's what I try to tell the kids. I said, listen, playing around is not an option in here because they not gonna trust you.
Right.
You joking and playing with your homie, he ain't gonna let you touch his hair.
Business.
Yeah.
Y'all take that seriously. Don't get a bad cut.
Can't touch my hairline. You laughing and giggling. Hand in your pocket. No, so I gotta break something called the disbelief portion of their mindset. So I got to break something down in them first. So I start off with 30 minutes of conversation. And that's to imply the mindset change because we got to shift it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Their mind has to be prepared that I'm working with a tool, an instrument that can jack somebody up for at least 3 to 4 weeks and they ain't going to look the same.
Right.
So let's get your mind riled up and let's get it ready to work on somebody, a human being one day. You know what I mean?
How involved do you make the parents be in the process?
The parents are the main point. They are everything. And I every email and every text I send to every parent, I always say at the bottom of it, let's grow together. But I say you are very important in this process.
I love that.
Because if you don't bring your kid out, if they don't come on time because of you, then this can't work.
Right.
If you leaving up to a kid to walk to a barbershop and go learn how to cut hair, that ain't gonna work.
Right.
They ain't coming. They're not even coming to the orientation by themselves. But the parents are the ones that I mean, shout out to the Philadelphia parents, man, because they've been bringing these kids out. I had 3 orientations. I had over 300 kids come out and just want to sign up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you also got to think, like, that time when you do have this academy, like, they could be on the streets or doing some other terrible stuff. So at least they're not on doing that stuff with those 2 hours or however long. And I feel like parents would get behind that. You know, for sure.
And so, the parents are the main point.
Nice. So I love that you had your son go through the academy.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I felt like I needed to have him go through it so he could see what the process was like. So he was one of the students. So when I first did it, I only had like 6 students sign up. So he was the 6th one.
Okay.
Right.
So I had 5 sign up.
Right.
He was the 6th one. So to make the class like more better, he just took the class.
Did he gravitate to it, or was he like, you could just teach me this at home, Dad?
No, he did, and he was learning his whole life. He's been in the barbershop. All my kids have been in there since the car seat stages, right?
Got you.
So all my kids stay in the barbershop. I'm a pop. I'm a dad. I'm an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. I work for myself.
Sure.
Right.
Kids stay in the barbershop their whole life. He been around it, but I don't think he was paying attention to it.
Got
But
you.
at 11, I made him start cutting his own hair. I was
Okay.
like, one day I'm not going to be here, son. You got to start doing this. Let's work on the cut down process at 11. So at 11, he's doing the cut down process. Started the Junior Barber Academy. Let's graduate. Now we got to do the shape up in the back, the front. We got to do this fade. We got to learn more parts of this thing, man. You
I
can't
love
just
it.
keep going outside.
Word.
I love it. So tell the people how they can get their kids involved in the Junior Academy.
So I use social media for everything. It's a great, amazing platform. Social media, like I said, makes the world small, right?
Absolutely.
If you go to Instagram at p.michael_, if you're on Facebook, you go to p.michael boom. And if you're on the internet, you can just go www.p.michael.org.
Love it.
And you can come there and you can chat with me. You can request to have a conversation, and I will call you and I will talk to you about the details. I have things posted on my website. If it's not enough information and the parent just got a couple more questions, call me.
Yeah.
Email me, hit me up. All my information is out there.
Word.
Nice. And are there do you have a certain amount of kids that you pick? Is an application process?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I do is
This is the academy.
Yes, the academy. I have a sign-up process, and
Word.
I have a sheet to kind of ask the parents where they're at with their mindset. Like,
Okay.
is this something? Have you ever enrolled your son or daughter into anything?
Yeah.
That was on accident, but that was perfect.
Yeah, but anything. Has you ever enrolled your son and daughter into anything to understand that this takes commitment?
Okay.
Sure.
Yep.
Commitment is
Yeah.
the key.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. So I love the Junior Barber Academy idea. Everybody, please make sure if you have a child that you believe that will be interested, make sure you guys check it out. Or have you started already?
Yeah,
this
no.
year?
So yes, we're on a 3rd semester.
Okay.
So I started in the summer. We had a summer semester. We had a fall.
Nice.
And now we're in our winter semester. It starts February the 2nd.
Okay.
People still have time to register, or no?
registration ends January the 26th. So I'm
Okay.
So end of
encouraging
the month.
all
All right.
parents, everybody,
Word.
contact me. We're gonna figure this out. It
Yeah.
does cost.
Okay.
This program comes with a cost, but let's figure it out.
Okay.
I will say I had to attest by something like this. I had a really good friend of mine who taught himself how to cut hair, and he started cutting hair when he went to Temple, and he literally had people lining up in his dorm room.
That's right.
He literally left off that Friday off of his schedule so that he could just cut hair all day.
Dope.
Wow.
And he made money off of that.
what I'm
And he
talking
was
about.
good. Like it's a good thing. It's a very good skill to have. Everybody's always gonna need a haircut.
Yes.
So before we transition into the foundation, I thought it was amazing. You have a children's book
Yes.
about
That's dope.
getting a child getting their first haircut.
Yes, yes.
Talk about your book.
And you're getting them reading. I love it. I love
So
it.
yes, that's what it was about. All the kids in the barbershop picking up the iPads, grabbing mom and dad phone, burning the battery out. And I'm sitting there cutting them, and I'm like, yo, something gotta give. We gotta get some books in here, man.
Word.
And so I reached out to the library, Philadelphia School District, Philadelphia Library, and they sent me over all these books. So first, I did a campaign. I had parents buy books for me, so I had books in the barbershop.
That's
And
dope.
then the library came in and they brought me all these brand new books, right? And then I said, well, how dope would it be if I wrote my own book?
Very
and
dope.
the kids reading my book,
Right.
Because
Right.
I understand the process of getting that first haircut is hard. Like kids
Scary.
is going crazy. They is
They
in
don't
the
wanna-
shit.
they
They
moving.
cursing it. They're like an exorcism.
What is that? It burns. Like, yeah.
So
all
I'm
these
like-
sensations they're not used
So
to.
I'm like, let me write from them, their point of view. So it's from their POV. It's from the point of view of a kid. And I didn't want the kid to be like a kid of color or a kid like, I didn't want him to have like some kind of shape or form. So I made him a dinosaur.
Nice.
And
Oh,
all
that's
kids
cool.
like dinosaurs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
yeah.
So I created the children's book, man. And it's just been dope, man. That was a dope experience.
And it has a coloring book that goes
I
with
have
it
a
too.
coloring book to go
Get
with
them
so the kids.
active.
So that is for the kids that are autistic. I cut a lot of autistic children.
Wow,
Okay.
cool.
And I got color crayons and everything come with it. The autistic children that come in, they need to do something.
Sure.
Right.
They are
yeah.
very active.
Yeah.
And so when
Very
they sit in the
stimulated,
barbershop, they just gonna keep playing with iPads and
Right.
phones.
Right.
They throw that stuff down.
Yeah.
Like it's boring after a while.
Right.
Let's color. And let's color and let's hang these pictures up and let's take pictures of it and let's see
love
how
I
it
like
look.
that.
I
yeah.
really do, because I have nieces and nephews, and they're extremely addicted to the iPads and stuff like that. So it's good that you have something where they can outlet in a different way. And reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. Reading books saved my life.
Right. Fundamental is key.
Right. So the foundation, the P. Michael Boone Foundation, talk a little bit about that, because it's not your ordinary foundation where you just do one thing. Talk about that.
So the P. Michael Boone Foundation, I founded in 2016. Been doing it my whole life. I mean, my mom was an advocate for helping people. She's an advocate for change.
Right.
Like, she wanted to see change in the community, but I was a kid. I didn't understand what she was doing. I'm like, why is you giving somebody money, Mom? We don't even have no money. You giving strangers money? What you doing? And I didn't know what she was doing at the time, but she was instilling in me that is more than just you.
Sure.
It's deeper than just you living on this earth and being selfish and taking. You have to give back some kind of way. So 2016 went on the books as a 501c3, and I decided that I want to help whatever kind of way. So I got Pico Energy reaching out to me. They got an Explorer program with the young entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. They like, hey, we want to feed the homeless. Can you help us? Yes. I'm going down in the subways. We're going to go together. I'm going to protect the kids, and I'm going to let y'all see us give food to young people that's in need. Circle of Greatness, you mentioned Nehemiah. He has a feed the homeless. He was doing it every other Wednesday. No, one Wednesday out the month. Come on, let's get out here and let's put these boots on the ground. Let's get out here and feed the homeless. But then I also wanted to start helping the young men and young women, right? I wanted to help them understand the things that I understood. I had to go away from my community and my neighborhood to learn what I learned, but I want to bring that back.
Sure.
So I learned entrepreneurship. I learned financing skills, because I had a credit score like 500 at one point. Yeah. Now it's at 800. Yeah. How did I do that? So let me teach the young men and young women how to not get the 500. Start with the whatever they give you is the 500, and then go up.
Right.
So I do financial literacy programs free to all. I do the health and wellness, because at one point I weighed 310 pounds.
Wow.
Lost 100 pounds, gained it back, lost like 40, 60, and then 80 again. And then I'm like, you know what? That was a process. Yeah. How can I teach somebody to not fall into that trap? So I offer the free health and wellness workshop. That's free to all, right? Entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Let me show these young men and women how they can be entrepreneurs. You can start with anything. You can go to the dollar store and get some phone cases and start, selling. You can go get some case of water and start selling it. So, all right, let me teach y'all how to do that, free to all. And so we got the 4 pillars right there. You got financial literacy, you got entrepreneurship, you got health and wellness, and then mentoring is the final one. I got to mentor the young men and young women. Yeah. They don't have, like, we used to call them old heads in our hood, right?
Still do.
But if they not right. If you ain't sounded and strong and sturdy, then what you gonna teach somebody? Right. You gonna give them nothing.
So you're teaching them how to be mentors.
There you go. You gotta put the work in it. So I believe in taking care of the community. I'm a humble servant, so I believe in helping. So every kid that comes through my doors, I tell them about service. Like, yo, we got to help somebody else, too. So we do free back-to-school haircut events every summer. I do them at Fox 29 Studio. I do them at the YMCA. I do them with Nehemiah. He has one. Then we do the ones for the holidays, free haircuts for the holidays. Then we do free haircuts for the homeless. So anybody in the homeless community around, like, holiday time, I don't want you going around those, your family. You might just walk into any family house, but at least have a fresh cut.
Yeah. Nice.
At least have a fresh cut.
I really, really like it. Yeah. So how can people follow the foundation or give donations or anything?
Awesome. Because it takes this thing to move. It takes money. Yeah. It take that. That's the small power that we have is we got to funnel and we got to funnel this thing.
Absolutely.
So go to my website www.p.michael.org. You find me on social media. Instagram is @p.michael_, and it's Facebook is P. Michael Boone, and then we have the P. Michael Boone Foundation on Facebook as well. All of it is linked into a link that people can donate through PayPal.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Perfect.
Very cool.
And I just want to ask a really quick question from you, because you are a serial entrepreneur, but I also know that you're a family man. So how do you balance it all?
I was going to ask you, I was like, do you sleep?
So here's what you got to do. You bring the kids into the business. They are the executive producers of things. They are co-founders.
There's a reason why you're doing all this.
Exactly. So bring them in. and if my kids can't come in, then I can't come in. You know what I mean? So you make the business child friendly. So me having my barbershop in a private setting, I'm able to create the environment to be child friendly. So I don't curse. So people in there don't curse. You know what I mean? And so now my kids are helping. My daughter's washing hair. My son's selling wave do rags and wave brushes. Yeah,
sweep up the hair. All that.
Everything, everything you could think of when I'm going out and vending and I'm selling the children's books. My baby son, he's writer. He's out there selling the book. He's in the book, so he's selling the book with me and bring them to the environment so that way work is not dad got to go to work. No, dad bringing us to work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to instill them in that. To instill that in them so young.
Sure.
Because I know this is the legacy for them, so they got to learn how to do it too, right? So that's wonderful. P.Michael, we want to thank you so much for being here. How could I just forget this? Congratulations. Allstate gave you a $10,000 donation on the Rachel Ray Show for the foundation. I thought that was super
That's
dope.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I bet.
For you to be spotlighted in that way. And one thing she did say on the show is that we don't have to wait for our officials, our politicians to kind of do stuff for our community. And you are a true example that you're not waiting for anyone. You're doing it for your community right here. So thank you for bringing that to Philly, staying true to your city. But yes, congratulations on that. Was huge.
Thank you.
I didn't want to forget that.
So open registration is still available for the academy. Is there anything else that we should be looking out for the next couple months? The year?
So I just finalized this. I'm having a charity brunch. I'm highlighting 2 young men from Philadelphia that are doing the right thing, that are not going down the wrong path, right? They're in school. They're doing everything that they need to do. And I'm going to personally give them $500 a piece. Wow. So I'm having a charity dinner. This dinner going to cost a bunch of money. I'm looking for sponsors.
Okay.
It's only $100 to sponsor, to be a sponsor, right? And you're going to come to this dinner, and we're going to award these kids. But I'm also need to reach out to some banks. So anybody know any bank friends, anything? I need to reach out to some banks. I want to see if a bank can match my $500 and give these kids
When is this event?
So this is going to take place in March. So this will be my first quarter event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's the charity dinner, the P.Michael Boone charity. It's going to be a charity brunch.
Okay. Nice.
Cool.
So let us know about that. We
Yes,
can
I will.
definitely support you in that aspect. But again, we just want to thank you for coming
Thank
over to the
you.
show.
Absolutely.
You are definitely starting out
I'm ready.
live and Water Ice Radio with a
Go.
bang. I'm about to get out here and do some work for the community of Shore.
Awesome.
Everybody, make sure you go follow P.Michael. He's just doing amazing things in our city. Make sure you support the Junior Barber Academy, the P.Michael Boone Foundation. That coloring book, the actual book for the kids with the haircuts, that's so cute. I love it so much. And just make sure you come back. We always tell everybody here, the first time you come, you're a guest. The second time, you are family. So anything you got coming up, make sure you slide through Lauren Reed Live.
Word.
You got anything else, Joe?
I mean, I always like to leave these interviews inspired, definitely inspired.
Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Please.
You're doing so much for, especially the youth in this city. Definitely need it, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. And anything you need help from us, man,
we're here. We are definitely
Absolutely.
here.
Yes.
All right, guys. It don't stop for us. We will continue our conversation next week. We will have another amazing guest coming through. I'm excited for that guest as well. As you already know, we got every mover and shaker that's coming through Philly, the tri-state area. So make sure you guys are checking us out on all social media platforms. And
Water Ice Radio.
And all Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes. Who else? All of them. Google Play.
SoundCloud, Google Play. YouTube.
We're everywhere, you guys. Make sure you are following the show for sure. The Newsstand Association of Philadelphia.
Shout out to NAP.
Shout out to NAP. We can't forget them. Samsung Technologies. Can't forget them as well. All right, guys. We're out. It's been a great first show for the Lauren Reed Live Show. And never, ever forget, not all superheroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear headphones. Peace.